Hello friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I got something exciting for you. Normally you're used to seeing me watching and reacting to other people's videos. Today we got something different. Today we're gonna make the very first ever Editor Explains video in which I'm gonna show you an actual project that I edited, show you the actual timeline in my project file, and explain you everything, all the thoughts that went into editing this video. So what you're about to see is a 1-minute clip that I edited for a guy called Jon Olsson. In 2017 and 18 I used to be making highlight compilation videos for him. And this clip that I'm about to show you right now was initially intended to be for a channel trailer or a 1 million highlight celebration video. So what we're gonna do is first I'm gonna show you that 1-minute clip, and then afterwards we're gonna jump into Premiere Pro. As you see, I already got it open here, and then I'm gonna give you a quick walkthrough of all the steps and thoughts that went into editing this clip. So let's first look at that clip together. Here it goes.
It's another incredible day. Life is good.
Does anyone have a plan what we should do?
We're gonna just go explore with no plan whatsoever. We'll just see what happens.
1 million subscribers, bro!
Yep, that's how we like to live life. Very fast with a lot of different cool things.
This one was initially intended to become a channel trailer. Later on we ended changing it up a little, and then eventually it was used as part of a Red Bull commercial for a project together with Jon. And now I'm gonna be throwing on the screen recording so that you see exactly how I edited that one. So here we are in the actual project file. What you can see here is that I color coded it so that it's easier for you to understand it. So let's first go quickly through the video layers and then the audio layers. What you can see here is everything in blue is parts of Jon on camera talking. Everything here in teal are mostly B-roll sections, B-roll clips. Down here in green you see the music, the track that's actually playing in the background, and everything down here that's in yellow, those are the sound effects or background ambience noise that I used for this clip. If I zoom a bit further into the timeline and show you the actual video layer, then you see that here also is a lot of speed ramping involved, especially in this middle part here. I'm gonna get to explaining that to you a little later. But first of all, how every single video has to start is first thinking about what's the main message or what's the story that you want to communicate. And in this one, it was pretty clear to me it was supposed to be a channel trailer or a celebration video for hitting 1 million subscribers. So what this had to do, it had to be within like 1 minute. It had to show how he got to 1 million subscribers, what was really special about him, and basically for anyone who's new and coming to his channel to get a glimpse into his life within just 1 minute. And so I went through all the vlogs that I had access to and picked out a couple of statements that I thought described those very well. So let's look at those first, because that's how the video started.
It's another incredible day. Life is good.
Does anyone have a plan what we should do?
We're gonna just go explore with no plan whatsoever. We'll just see what happens.
So if you watched any of his videos, then most likely you'll understand that those two statements are pretty much exactly what describes him and the vibe that he's giving off in his videos. So I figured those were perfect to start the video with. And then I had one more that needed to come right before it gets into the fast part of the edit.
1 million subscribers, bro!
And that was all that it needed to set up the story, to set up the idea for the video, to hook someone who's watching his channel for the very first time and get them captured into that video and watch it all the way through. So from my point of view, the magic in setting up a story for a video like this, especially if it needs to be a very short one, is not what you put in. It's much more important what actually not to put in. So there were so many clips that I had available for this, and then the decision was which ones are the ones that are absolutely essential to tell a story like this. And then there was only one more statement that it needed in the very end, which was this one.
That's how we like to live life. Very fast with a lot of different cool things.
And those 4 statements, in my point of view, were what exactly was needed to have a video like this, to have a super short snippet into his life and get hooked on his channel. And that, for me personally, is the first step in any single video. Figure out what's the actual message, what's the actual story. Have that first and then work from there, because everything else now just follows to serve and tell that story. And the next thing obviously is gonna be the music. As you can see down here in the music, here are all those keyframes, and those keyframes are when I increased or decreased the volume. So that was mainly when there's a part of Jon talking on camera that obviously the volume needs to go down so that you understand him properly. What I often see in any beginner's videos is that they keep the background music too loud and you can't cannot understand what the actual person is talking. And then in the music there were a couple of special clues that I knew that I wanted to edit something special to, and that you see down here as this marker, the marker down here, and the marker back there. So the video starts with the fading in audio, and immediately it has this hit, and whenever you're editing a trailer it needs to be something that catches you right away. So let's listen to that. Black screen. So there's like a hit in the music, and that's when I knew exactly, okay, this is when the first shot of the trailer needs to come. And so the music continues, and then I figured here it was time for the first statement. And therefore I turned down the music here. The volume down here is, I think, to a -15 dB.
It's another incredible day. Life is good.
And in order for the statements to be powerful, they needed to be spaced out a little so that the story can breathe, as you would say. And you as the viewer have enough time to process what he just said. So in between, there's a short increase of volume again until he delivers the next statement.
Does anyone have a plan what we should do?
We're gonna just go explore with no plan whatsoever. We'll just see what happens.
And so in between, I positioned the statements so that whenever there was something interesting in the music, that would come right after. So here, pay attention to the music.
We'll just see what happens.
And that's the main cue of the song, so I wanted to highlight that one and end the statement right before that.
Million subscribers, bro!
And down here, you see that the music is now slowly increasing in volume. Quick interruption, if you've been enjoying the breakdown so far, then exactly that's what we'll be doing on the workshop together, you and me, for a full day. Until this Sunday, there's also a special early bird prize for those of you who are quick in booking their tickets. Now let's get back to the video. We set up the story. Now it's building up to that first fast session that's supposed to really get you engaged. And that's why the music here is increasing. You feel it's also building up to that main part of the music. It's getting faster. And here comes the drop in the music, and that's exactly where there's like the first fast-paced editing part. And so here are a couple of things that I did. First of all, as you probably heard, the moment that it goes underwater, you hear that the sound is muffled. It sounds like it's underwater, and that you create by using a low-pass filter. And as you can see here in my effects panel, there's a low-pass filter, and here you see the frequencies. Low-pass filter, what that does basically, it lets only the low frequencies, so the bass frequencies, pass through. So I dialed it down all the way to this frequency. That means that only at that moment, everything that is below that, which are the bass frequencies, are gonna pass, and it makes it sound like it's underwater. And as you can see with keyframes, I edit it so that it goes down and all the way back up. And then here comes a cue in the music. That's a very important thing to look out for when there's a couple of fast beats right behind each other. That for me always is a sign, hey, this is perfect to make a couple of fast cuts. And that's exactly what I did here. Listen to the music and pay attention. I cut exactly to the beats and the hits in the music. The music takes a short break and is building up again, and right before that I take one clip and leave that standing longer, this one here. And then it builds up again to that quick beat sequence, and again, as that made most sense to me, I cut to that one very quickly here again. And so basically that's the entire thought behind how to edit to the music. And then later on, basically, as you can see here, the music is just slowly fading out when the video comes to an end, and then when he starts talking again, gives his final statement. Now we have the story, now we have the music. What we now need to do is to edit the actual clips to that audio. And for that, I went through the entire catalog of vlogs that I had from him and looked for a couple of clips that perfectly fit to this. So in the beginning, what I wanted to do is with the first couple of clips, give you like a, what's this all about? And so with the first one, you just see him, you're intrigued, hey, this is these super crazy golden sunglasses. Then, okay, it's him and his girlfriend, it's him with a camera, and then it's them traveling to crazy destinations. And basically, if you would describe his channel, that's exactly what it's about. And so I figured these couple of clips in the beginning were perfect to describe that. And then, of course, the legend himself, Benjamin Ortega.
Life is good.
Back then, he still had his long hair. Benji, I'm gonna be honest, I like the new haircut much better. And then also I wanted to have a part where he's actually talking on camera, and I figured these ones were perfect because that perfectly describes how they are rolling. Always late on time, always in a rush, always without a real plan, but then again having fun with it and figuring it out in the end anyway. And then of course this crazy man here lived to the max. He needed to be in the video, so I knew that I wanted to have his statement also on, especially since that was the moment when they were actually celebrating his 1 million subscribers. The next thing I wanted to actually show is to give an impression how that actually looks like. 1 million people, that's exactly what happens. People come up and they show up and they want to meet him in person and they celebrate him like crazy. So that's exactly what I wanted to show. That was the setup for the story that I wanted to communicate in the actual visuals. And then of course it builds up to the fast part of the video. So now needs to come the crazy stuff, the crazy footage with insane cars, with the yachts, with the flying helicopters and so on. And that's exactly what's building up right here. Now this was the perfect part to transition clips in between that fit to each other. Underwater, another shot underwater, but now they're at the beach. From the beach, they go to the boat. More on the boat, now on a yacht, on a jet ski. The clips, they have something in common. That's why they fit well together and why I edited them behind each other. And then what you also see here is I used a lot of speed ramping. Speed ramping I often use to transition from one clip into the next one to make the connection more seamless. So here, slow motion, and it waves as if though you are actually on the boat. So here, it speeds out so that it gives you like a little bit of that extra feel that you're actually on a boat. Here again, slow motion in between. And then from that water sequence, it's similar framing, so I shot to this one, and then it's coming the car action sequence. And again here, similar clips edited behind each other that have a similar topic, that have a similar motion, that go in the same direction. And that's how they match well together. And just those tiny things make it a bit more interesting and more engaging to look at. And of course, when you see this, the intention was someone sitting there behind the computer and thinking like, what the hell is going on? So I was looking for exactly such an impression, and we perfectly found that. And then since his entire vlog is about getting to know him in person, getting to know the people around him and making it a very personal thing, I knew that there needed to be a lot of showing faces, showing how fun things they do, how they're enjoying life and what's going on with them, here quirking around. And it ends with this shot, very invitingly giving you a high five to that final beat in the music.
Yeah, that's how we like.
And now we're gonna look at the sound effects, because to make it really engaging, it makes such a difference if you put some more ambient noise and sound effects under it. And as you may have heard it in the beginning, you didn't really notice, but there was always like the car sound, the jet ski sound and so on. So we're gonna look at the middle sequence and pay attention this time to these layers down here where you see the sound effects, and we're gonna mute the music so that you can only pay attention to seeing the imagery with the sound effects. So here comes the part where it's building up to that fast-paced part in the music, and here to the swooshes. Super important. And then on the boat also to give that wave crushing sound. If you see a jet ski, then you also need to hear a jet ski, because that brings you way more into the video. Same goes here, of course, for this one, as well as the drifting now here on the ice. So all these sound effects are super important to layer it underneath to really get you as the person watching it more into the video and more engaged. Because when someone's watching this video for the first time, our brains have the capability to process things at a certain speed. And most of the times when you see a video that is really well edited, then it's often because it's edited faster than our brains can process it. And then you sit there being hypnotized and super excited and flashed about it. And so now as the last and final thing, let's look at that middle sequence, that fast-paced part again, with everything turned on, with the music, with the sound effects and everything here, so that you see it on my actual timeline. So this was my run through this video that I edited for Yoon. If you found this helpful and interesting, then what I want you to do is down there's a link in the description to a workshop, and full day editing workshop, where I'm going to be showing you exactly this for a full day on many more projects to really push your editing game to the next level. If you're interested in that, then click the link in the description and book your ticket to that now. I would be really excited to teach you in person and show you many more of my editing secrets. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this series, then over there are a lot of reaction videos where I react to other creators' videos. If you want more of these editing breakdowns, leave a comment below. That's it for today. Until next time.